Hello my dear friends, how are you all? I hope you all are good and fantastic. So my dear friends, you are very welcome in our lecture number 5 of statistics. Okay my dear friends. So my dear friends, I hope you enjoyed our previous lectures. Okay. So again today we are going to discuss a very amazing topic. So you have to listen very carefully. Okay my dear friends, I hope you will enjoy this lecture again. So now my dear friends, let's move on. Yes, so today we are going to discuss graphical representation of cumulative frequency distribution. So my dear friends, today we are going to discuss about the graphical representation of cumulative frequency distribution. Okay, in this chapter we are going to discuss about graph. Okay, what type of graphs are there? Okay, so first of all we have to know, yes, ogive curve. What is ogive curve? Let's see that. The ogive is defined as the frequency distribution graph of a series. It is defined as the what? Frequency distribution graph of a series. Okay my dear friend. So the ogive is a graph of cumulative distribution which explains the data values on the horizontal plane axis and either the cumulative relative frequencies. Okay my dear friend. So the cumulative frequencies or cumulative percent frequencies on the vertical axis. I hope my dear friend you understand this thing. So the ogive graph is what? It is the graph of cumulative distribution. Okay, which explain what? Which explain the data values on the horizontal axis. Data values on the horizontal axis and cumulative relative frequencies on the vertical axis. On the what? Vertical axis. Okay. And we all know that what is cumulative frequency? Cumulative frequency is defined as the sum of all the previous frequencies up to the current frequency. Okay my dear friends, I hope you understand this thing. So to find the popularity of the given data or the likelihood of the data that fall within the certain frequency range, ogive curve helps to find those details accurately. Okay, those details accurately. Okay, so we have to create the ogive by plotting the point corresponding to the cumulative frequency of each class intervals So most of the statisticians use ogive curve to illustrate the data in the pictorial representation, means in the histogram and in the line graph. Okay, which helps in estimating the number of observations which are less than or equal to the particular value. I hope my dear friend you understand these things. So now my dear friends, there are two methods of ogive curve. What are these? So first is less than ogive and the second is greater than or more than ogive. So what are these curves? Let's see that. If we talk about the less than ogive, okay, so in this case the frequencies of all preceding classes are added to the frequencies of a class is called the less than cumulative frequency. Is called the what? Less than cumulative frequency. Okay, now how to draw less than ogive curve? So in this, first of all, draw and mark the horizontal and vertical axis. First of all, we have to draw and mark the horizontal and vertical axis. Okay, now take the cumulative frequency on the y-axis, means vertical axis, and the upper class limit, means, and the observation limits on the x-axis, means horizontal axis. Against each upper class limit, plot the cumulative frequency. Now we have to plot the cumulative frequency and connect the points with a continuous curve. This will what? Yes, ogive curve less than type. I hope my dear friend you understand these things. Okay, so now what is greater than or more than ogive. Okay, so in this case, the frequencies of succeeding class in the less than the frequencies of preceding class, but in this case the frequency of succeeding classes are added to the frequency of class, so this series is called the more than or greater than cumulative series. More than or greater than cumulative series. Now how to draw it? So same method is that first of all we have to draw and mark the horizontal and vertical axis. Now take the cumulative frequency along the y-axis and the lower class. In this we have to take the lower class limit. Okay, in less than type we are taking about the upper class limits, and in this case we are taking lower class limits on the x-axis. Now against each lower class limit, plot the cumulative frequencies. Okay, and connect the points with a continuous curve. Okay, my dear friends, I hope you understand these things. So now what is ogive chart? Ogive chart is a curve of the cumulative frequency distribution or cumulative relative frequency distribution. Okay, for drawing such a curve, the frequencies must be expressed as a percentage of the total frequency. In this case, the frequencies must be expressed as a percentage of the total frequency. So this is the ogive chart. So now, my dear friends, what are the uses of ogive curve? So the uses are ogive graph or the cumulative frequency graph. We can call it as also cumulative frequency graph, are used to find the median of the given set of data. Okay. Now, if both less than and greater than, both less than ogive curve and greater than ogive curve, cumulative frequency curve is drawn on the same graph, then we can easily find the median value. So how we can find it? Let's see that. So now, my dear friends, we have to see how to find the median with the help of ogive curve. Okay, so now, my dear friends, we have ogive curve in which there are two curves, like first is less than type curve or second is more than type curve. So now if we see that the rising curve, like this curve, okay, so this is what? Less than ogive curve. And if you talk about this curve, this is greater than ogive curve. Understand? So now, my dear friends, how we can find the median with the help of this curve? So the intersecting points. So this is our intersecting points. So the intersecting points of these curves are the median, or what? Are the median value. What? Yes, these are the median value. Okay, my dear friends, I hope you understand these things. So we can say that if both less than and greater than cumulative frequency curve is drawn on the same graph, we can easily find the median value. So the point in which both the graph intersect. So the corresponding to the x-axis. So the value corresponding to the x-axis gives the median value. Median value. Okay. Now, apart from finding the medians, ogives are used in computing the percentile of the data set values, of the data set values. Okay, I hope you get this point, my dear friends. So now, my dear friends, let's do some question. Yeah, so the question number 1 is, construct the more than cumulative frequency table and draw the ogive for given below data. Draw the ogive for given below data. Okay, so now, my dear friends, we have the table which is represent the marks. Okay, and this represent the frequencies. Okay, so now first of all we have to draw the more than cumulative frequency. Okay, what? Yes, more than cumulative frequency. So for this we have to find the, yes, we have to find the cumulative frequency. So more than cumulative frequency is find like, let's suppose we have a table like this. Okay, and here is marks, here is frequency, and we have to find more than cumulative frequency. So for more than cumulative frequency we have to find the adding of the succeeding cumulative frequency. Adding of the what? Succeeding cumulative frequency. Okay, I hope you get this point. Yes. Now, and as we discussed in the how to draw the more than ogive curve, in this we are saying that we have to take the intervals against each lower class limit. Each lower class limit, like this. We are taking more than 1. Here is more than 11, like this. And we have the interval 1 to 10, 11 to 20. And lower limit is what? 1, 11, 21. And same, here is we are taking more than 1, more than 11, more than 21, like this. Okay, and these are the frequencies, and we have to find the, yes, we have to find the cumulative, more than cumulative frequency. So this is what? Yeah, this is like this. We have to start from the downward. So this will become 2, 7, 13, 23, 37, 49, 57, and 60. Okay, I hope you get this point. Yes, so now, my dear friends, for drawing the graph, more than ogive graph, we have to find the coordinate. So what are these? So the coordinates are like, if we see this, we have to draw the more than graph. So on x-axis we have to draw these limits, and on y-axis we have to draw the cumulative frequency. Okay, so we have to take the coordinates from below. So we get like this will become 71,2. Okay, I hope you get this point. And second is 61,7. Okay, and third is 51,13. Okay, and next is 41,23. Okay, and 31,37, 21,49, 11,57. Okay, my dear friends, and last is 1,60. So these are the what? These are the coordinates. On the x-axis we have to plot the, yes, we have to plot the lower class limits values. Okay, and on the y-axis we have to plot the cumulative frequencies. So our graph look like this. Okay, so this is what? This is more than ogive curve. What is? Yes, more than ogive curve. So my dear friends, more than ogive curve is always downfall. Is always downfall, like this. Okay, so I hope you understand these things. Yes, so the next question is, the following distribution gives the daily income of 50 workers of a factory. Okay, convert the distribution above to a less than type cumulative frequency. Now in this we have to draw the less than type cumulative frequency distribution, and we have to draw its ogive. Okay, I hope you get this point. So now we have a table like this. In this we have a daily income which is in rupees, and we have number of workers We have what? Number of workers. So now my dear friends, first of all, we have to draw the table like this. So this is our table. Okay, and for we know that for drawing the less than or give curve, we have to take the upper limit. We have to take the what? Upper limit. If you see in this question, our upper limit is 120, 140, 160, 180 and 200. So like this, we are taking the upper limit which is less than 120, less than 140, less than 160, less than 180 and less than 200. And these are the what? These are the frequencies. And we have to write the cumulative frequency of the, yes, we have to add the preceding frequencies. Okay, so we get 12, 26, 34, 40 and 50. Okay, so now my dear friends, we have to find the coordinates for plotting the graph. So the coordinates are like, here is 120, 12, okay, 140, 26, 160, 34, 180, 40, 200, 50. So now we have to plot these coordinates on the graph. So we get like this. So we get the graph like this. Okay, my dear friends, I hope you get this point. So my dear friends, this is the graph which we have to draw. So my dear friends, we observe this graph. This is our, this is our observation of upper limit. And this is what? This is the cumulative frequency. This is the cumulative frequency. Okay, I hope you get this point. So now my dear friends, this graph is what? This graph is ogive less than graph, because this is what? This is the rising graph. So all the rising graph are what? Are the less than type graph, and all the downfall graph are the more than ogive curve. Okay, I hope you get this point. So now my dear friends, let's move on to the next question, which is, during the medical checkup of 35 students of class, their weights were recorded as like this. Okay, so the weight are what? Yes, weight are less than 38 kg, less than 40 kg, less than 42 kg and similar and so on. And here is number of students. Okay, I hope you get this point. So now the question is that we have to draw a less than type ogive curve for the given data and hence obtain the median weight from the graph. And we have to find the median weight from the graph and verify the result by using the formula. And we also have to apply the formula. So now my dear friends, we have to draw the what? We have to draw the less than type ogive curve. Okay, my dear friends. So now we have to draw the less than type curve. So my dear friends, if we observe in this table, we have already less than table. Okay, in this there is no interval. So it means this is what? This is our cumulative frequency. This is our what? Cumulative frequency. Okay, this is not a normal frequency. This is the cumulative frequency because we have already the less than table. We have already the less than table. So my dear friends, we have to draw the less than type curve using this table. Okay, using what? Using this table. So now according to this table, so the coordinates are what? The coordinates are 38, 0, 40, 3, 42, 5, 44, 9, 46, 14, 48, 28, 50, 32 and 52, 35. Okay, I hope you get this point. So now from this data, to represent the table in the form of graph, okay, we are choosing the upper limit for the class interval in the x-axis and the frequencies, these frequencies we have to choose for the y-axis. Okay, my dear friend. So this is on x-axis or this is on y-axis. Okay, so now let's see the graph. So the graph is look like this. Okay, here is upper limit and here is cumulative frequency. Here is what? Cumulative frequency. So now my dear friends, if we see that n upon 2, which is n is what? 35. Number of observation is 35. If we observe in the last of the table, so we can see that n is what? 35. So n upon 2 is what? 35 upon 2, which is equals to 17.5. Okay, now on the y-axis there is a 70.5, and if we draw the parallel line of x-axis, we get a point on the curve, and from this point we have to draw the perpendicular line on the x-axis. So this is what? This is the median. This is what? This is the median. So 46.95 is what? Median. Is what? Median. Okay, I hope my dear friend you understand these things. So now we have to find the median with the help of formula to verify this median it is correct or not. Okay, so now let's see that. So now my dear friends, we have to find what? We have to find the median with the help of median formula. Okay, and we have to verify it. Okay, so now for finding the median, okay, we want the frequency, we want the normal frequency, because we have the cumulative frequency. Okay, so now with the help of cumulative frequency we can easily find the normal frequency, means number of students. How we can find it? This is 0, we all know. This is what? This is 3 minus 0. We have to subtract from the preceding cumulative frequency. Okay, this will give 3. This will 5 minus 3, which is equals to 2. 9 minus 5, which is equals to 4. Okay, and now you can see here is this will become 14 minus 9. Okay, so this is equals to what? So here this will become like 5. So this is what? 5. Okay, and here is 28 minus 14. So here we get, after solving this, again we get 14. Okay, and if we subtract 32 minus 28, we get 4, and 35 minus 32, we get 3. Okay, so I hope you understand these things. So with the help of cumulative frequency we can easily find the frequency. Okay, yes, now we have to find the median class, and we know that n upon 2, which is equals to 35 upon 2, which is 17.5. So now n upon 2 we have 17.5, so which is nearer to this 14. Okay, so we can say that this is what? Yeah, this is the median class. This is the median class. We can say this is median class. Got it? I hope you understand these things. And in this is what? This is L, lower limit. Okay, this is frequency F. This is cumulative frequency. What is cumulative frequency? And H is what? Upper limit minus lower limit. This is 2. Okay, if you subtract 46 minus 44, we get 2. So I hope you understand these things, my dear friends. We know that the formula is median is equals to L plus n upon 2 minus CF divided by F into H. Okay, so this will become 44 plus 17.5 minus 9 divided by what? Divided by 5 into 2. So this will give 44 plus, if you solve this, we get 8.5 into 2 divided by 5. So after solving this, we get 47.4. Okay, so this is approximate to the value of this, to the value of the median, which we obtained from the graph. Okay, this is approximately equal to the value which is obtained from the graph. Okay, so now we are writing here is hence verify. I hope, my dear friends, you understand these things. So now, my dear friends, it's time to leave, and this is enough for today, and we will meet in the next lecture with the next amazing topic. So thank you very much guys for listening me, and take care and goodbye.